there's a bit of a concern going on in the NFL. Now, I understand, like, people want to push over the Browns as still a wild card contender after making it over to the second round the last season and have an exceptional year. Let's keep it a buck. They've been inconsistent over their last games. Their last couple games, it is now we're about to end off week 8 with Monday Night Football. And coming over all this, Cincinnati got fucked up by the Cleveland Browns. Coming over 5-1 to start the season, they have went over, I think, winning the last one of 4 games. Now they're 5-4, edged over to get slumped up by the Cleveland Browns that are also 5-4. The Steelers packing out, even though Baltimore is still one of the better teams in the AFC, in the AFC North, while getting devastated by the goddamn Vikings. It was such a bad game. Sure, there were some times where the Browns actually played good. Even though Joe Mixon messed over a ball. Joe Burrow could barely get the ball moving for barely even 5 yards out. Sometimes he gets good carries over to Jamar Chase, but it went bad. Mixon off an 11-yard carry for a touchdown. As Donovan Van People-Jones off double coverage, Baker Mayfield tossed that bitch deep. There was a Denzel Ward off the red zone. 99 effing pick 6 in the early part of the first quarter. Chase McLaurin off 28-yard field goal. I think we had 2 straight field goals coming out of. I think it was either the Cowboys kicker or the Browns kicker that same night. Denzel Ward played astounding. Had only 2 tackles, got that phenomenal pick 6 that kind of kept that entire momentum shifting. Kept that entire momentum for the Browns, so I have no complaints there. Baker Mayfield had an astounding game. No complaints. Went 14 of 21. Usually I have a complaint if somebody goes 10 of 21. That means they played fucking awful. 218, only got sacked twice with 2 passing touchdowns with a 60-yard bomb against the Bangals. They played like the Bumbles. They got shut off over backfield. The only time Mixon would be ever bursting is up in the red zone where they kept pushing over the gut. And sometimes Burrow could barely even find his goddamn man. Sure, he got more passing yards. He went 28 of 40 with a 69 QB rating, throwing 2 damn picks. Played awful, man. And I wasn't expecting less because these are 2 young, talented athletes. John Johnson came off a weak-ass TD that went over 31 yards. Myles Garrett wasn't that explosive, even though he had about a tackle for loss, a tackle up the backfield, and he got 3 QB hits on him. Anthony Walker was just the player of the game, defensively, if we're talking. With 12 tackles, had a sack, while Troy Hill only had 2, had more tackles for losses over the team, and he was just more effective. That's kind of tough. Wait, hold up. Is there another AJ Green on the team? I don't know why they're showing that. I thought AJ was still in Arizona. Didn't know they got rid of him that quickly after that messed up pass against Green Bay. But other than that, I didn't see much of everything that could have been effective. Troy Bayard didn't get the ball as much as I thought. I mean, Tyler Boyd didn't get the ball most of what he got. Mostly totaled over his 11 receiving yards. Trey Higgins, of course, they pushed over to Jamar Chase. He got targeted about 13 times, like literally the most in the game, and only accumulated 49 pass yards. They were weak up the gut. So they were really battering whatever Joe Burrow could throw, and sometimes it was sloppily pushed over passes, going for toss plays off 3rd and 5. These guys didn't know how to play football. Probably the weakest performance out of the team that was so hot earlier in the quarter of the season, and now we're midway through, and now they're 5-4. Those are two F words I don't want to say out loud. David Njoku expected a bit better. Austin Hooper caught the ball when it was necessary, but I wish he had more. Jarvis Landry came over a fumble, and he didn't get the ball until, I don't know, the second half, late into the second half, and he only got targeted 5 times. Donovan Van Peoples made an impact even the minuscule times that he was targeted, so at least it was when necessary. He got third of 2, went 3 of 2 in catches, in total of 86 yards, with a 60-yard deep pass, so he played well over his offense. Nick Chubb went 137. He was cutting up the defense. Sure, it wasn't the best QB running back performance over Dalvin Cook the same day over his astounding 57-yard carry when he was crossing over and destroying Baltimore's defense. But he played well, really well. But this is not what I want to see. A 41 on a fucking 6 on the 2 young hottest teams in the NFL after the Odell Beckham controversy. Zach Taylor needs to set up a better defensive coordinator. Try to get his shit together with his offense, because they're possibly not clicking, or knew they had to play a team with a better overall defense, which is Davion Clowney, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, Anthony Walker. They just need to know how to adjust better. I think that's the reason. Because you have Eli Apple on your team. Quentin Spain. Trey Flowers that hasn't been that effective. It's Sam Hubbard that I expected a lot more out of, even though he got 3 QB hits out there and a sack. Next to Trey Hendrickson. But that didn't even come up to even stopping or giving back the ball to Cleveland. So whenever I hear sacks like that, he got a few sacks, okay. Was it to turn over the ball or a pivotal part of the drive or a third down? He didn't keep up over that momentum all game. And they were already leading by at least 21 before the half. It was already a double-digit lead before the half. Nick Chubb came off a devastating 70-yard carry. Baker Mayfield looked so excited, like he was watching his Oklahoma Sooners play again. God knows nobody wants to see him right now, how Spencer Rattler's doing. I know their second-string QB's doing well. And it ended off with a David Njoku 18-yard passing touchdown. And that ends the game. Over the last under 5 minutes remaining. Which is just carrying it down the floor and making sure that they weren't trying to get a competent lead out there. I wish I was acting more optimistic. But if we count the possessions, the Browns was just better. In every statistical category. When it came over to holding over the ball, first downs, passing it over when they needed to. They had a better rushing. The most you ever see over Joe Burrow, or short passes over to Higgins, or trying to slide it off a curl, and they fuck it up because Burrow has no practice in accuracy. Or just too reliant over Jamar Chase. And don't get me wrong, when these two come together, they do make a good spot. They were popping off in the first quarter, and then they forgot that you had another 3 quarters of football to play. That's what messes me up in this entire game, because I know I expected better. But yeah, that's it coming from me. Hopefully, Cincinnati bounces back. And, have at least a decent chance over to the season, because you're currently 5-4. You're still competently over in the playoff on the most competitive division in football, that is the AFC North. Cleveland they have a bye coming up. I mean, Cincinnati has a bye coming up. They won't be playing until November 21st, where they're going to be playing the Vegas Raiders. Then they're popping off in a home stretch where they have Pittsburgh, the Chargers, and the 49ers come December. And they won't be playing Cleveland until the final game of the season come week 18. That's going to take a lot of getting used to say. But over their stretches, they've had won, nearly most of their games have been won in single digits. By single digits. They've only shut off over the Lions. That don't count as a game. I count that as as a regular practice game. And when they shockingly destroyed the Baltimore Ravens, pushing up over a 5-2, and now they've lost over 2 straight. And then they got scuffed by the Lions. So I hope this doesn't become a pattern after the Giants just destroyed the Raiders. Now they come off losing over to the Raiders. So I'm just expecting the best. As for Cleveland, they have spurts of them being either a fraud or they can actually be a promising team. If it wasn't for their lack of a receiving core, after they started 4-1 and started slooping off, winning only 2 of their last 5 games, I would have had nothing to say. But at least they end off their week with they'll be taking a break come week 13, early December. So I guess that's going to push off a lot of fatigue that comes over playing 12 straight games without a bye week. That's got to be the advantage that they're going to have a lot more fresher players come the late stints when they have about at least 5 games left. And they have New England next week. Then they're pushing off against Detroit, and if Baltimore don't get their shit up in 2 more weeks, Cleveland could possibly go 3-0. And I'm just hoping the best because they faced them 2 straight. They have Baltimore twice at the 28th, and then after their bye week at December 12th. So a lot riding over their a lot is riding over their division rivalry, and then ending it off against the Bangals again, and having Green Bay and Pittsburgh in 2 straight weeks. So the final 5-game stretch will be a tough schedule. And pushing off against the Raiders with their offense, Baltimore Ravens is still possibly a favorite for the playoffs, possibly to take over the division, and the Packers, and hopefully the Bengals fix things up. We still have a lot of football to play over the next 8 weeks. So hopefully a lot of teams, keep their stuff together. Burrow stops throwing in like 3 interceptions every 2 other games, and I get to see a lot more over their defense. Other than that, I'm just hoping for the best for 2 teams, and I'm a bit disappointed that this game could have been a bit better. Thanks for watching. That's it from the DST show. I'm trying to find a name for this. I'm going to call it the DST Zone, just because it's pro football. So, and my logo is red, so I thought that would make a lot more sense. If you guys have any idea, comment down in the comment section below if you want me to do these separately or you want me to do these all together. Thanks for watching.